Hey guys, DJ here with Next Level Coaching, and I'd like to start off by thanking everybody that watched me streaming yesterday on Twitch TV. And for those of you that didn't get around to it, I'll be doing it more in the future. And here is a little taste of what you missed. This, of course, is ISD block, and I was piloting the Rug Burning Vengeance list all day yesterday. So let's get to one of the matches that I played. Hand is super slow, but it has lots of answers. I don't remember if I ended up keeping this or not, but on the play, it feels like we're going to be think twicing on turn 3 a lot of the time, which isn't very good. So, granted, this hand does have a lot of action against creatures. So, I guess if I know I'm playing against the slow deck, this hand is fine because these cards are pretty good against control also. But against a fast deck, this hand's too slow. So given that most of the format is fast, this is probably a mulligan. Okay, and I kept that hand. I am not a fan of that keep. Alright, I do like leading with Sulfur Falls in case I draw a Geist Flame, though. And we are playing against a Doom Traveler deck. This does not bode well for our keep. And we rip an island, so our Hinterland Harbor will come into play tap. That was good for us. Machias for 1, that kind of sucks. Now you can make an argument for either Burning Vengeance or Daybreak Ranger here, but if we play Daybreak Ranger, we're just gonna have to pass our turn next turn because for sure he's playing a spell. So playing Burning Vengeance means that we can either play a spell that's better if we want to, like Huntmaster or Garuk will likely come down, or we'll be able to flash back our Think Twice to kill something anyways. Whereas with Daybreak Ranger, we'd have to pass our turn to do that. So like this way, we're doing the same thing Daybreak Ranger would, but we're also drawing a card. Also, playing Daybreak Ranger commits us to passing and flipping Daybreak Ranger no matter what he does. Whereas this allows us to change our game plan some. So this is an interesting spot here. Machias pumps itself, things are going to get out of hand. So I probably have to pass, and then depending on what he does, cast Think Twice and kills Machias. Because I can't kill the Daybreak Ranger, else it just flips. And that's really gross for us. Or, I don't mean it flips, I mean the Machias pumps. And that's gross for us. Passing here does let Daybreak Ranger flip, but we have answers to it somewhere in the deck. You know, we have Blasphemous Act and things like that. Plus, we can always start chump blocking it if we need to. So, I think just playing the land and passing feels like the right line here. Although, I would not fault anybody for casting a Huntmaster here. But the problem with casting Huntmaster is it lets his Machias get online. Alright, so he didn't Machias end a turn. So now his guys are going to flip. Well, his Daybreak Ranger's going to flip. And if he attacks, we're not going to do anything because if we try and kill Machias, he'll just pump and we'll take an extra 2 damage that way. Okay, so it feels like I guess he has another spell. This is not good for us. Another Daybreak Ranger, that's pretty gross. In response, we have to kill the Machias. Alright. And there's some more land for us. This deck really doesn't need a ton of land. I would say the optimal operating is probably 6. Any more than 6 and we're in trouble. So now we have a 5/5 Daybreak Ranger. Oh, well, Nightfall Predator. This is something we need to work on killing. So, like, the best line here, we can play Garuk and make a 2/2 and chump block, and then our Garuk dies. Or we can play Huntmaster, and or we can like Ravings plus recast or plus flashback to make it flip back into a 3/3, but that still doesn't accomplish a whole lot. It feels like Huntmaster is the right line here. Because if we can somehow get our Huntmaster to flip plus Ravings plus flashback or something, we'll be able to fight it. And I played Garruk and fought Daybreak Ranger, and that just is a terrible, terrible play. Not too sure why I made that line. We're at 13. Yeah, that play just makes no sense. That's a bad play on my part. Yeah, Garruk's dead. We go to 8. And now I'm sure, yep, there's a spell, and that's probably going to seal it for us. Although, in reality, even if we had played the Huntmaster, yeah, we'd be in just as bad of a spot still. We really needed him to have, like, stone nothing there, and he didn't. He had something, so I imagine this is going to be... We can't Garruk and fight Thalia because we go to 1 then. If we Hunt Master, we'll have to have the token block here. We take... Well, we go to 1 either way. So... We probably do have to Garruk the Thalia now and just hope he has nothing so that we can Hunt Master next turn to stabilize. And I Hunt Mastered. So, I got the plays reversed. I guess the plan here is we're going to chump block the Nightfall Predator with the Wolf and then take 4. Although that seems pretty poor also. Oh, well, playing Garruk left us dead to Gavany Township, but I don't think we could play around Gavany Township at that point regardless, so... And he had it, so we would have died even if we had played the Garruk here. And with Gavany Township, this just should kill us. He doesn't attack with Thalia for some reason, so he's giving us a chance. Not much of one, but a semblance of a chance. So we're going to 5, and blocking the Doom Traveler because one of our outs is Blasphemous Act. And instead of just pumping all of his guys, which would leave us virtually dead, he decides to play Geist Honored Monk, which plays into us finding Blasphemous Act a little bit more. So that's very, very good for us. Will we find it? We have a chance to. And we bricked. And... yeah, we're pretty dead here. Flashing it back, or well, Desperate Ravings for shits and giggles to see if we could find something, I'd imagine. But yeah, so overall, I made like a few small mistakes in this game, but given his draw and everything, it doesn't appear that it would have mattered. That's not an excuse. We still should not be punting. You know, punting is not the way to win. But it doesn't look like we had a winnable line either way in this game. Alrighty, and we're back for game 2. And this hand has no red mana. Or we have like 3 turns to draw red mana with our spells the way it is. So, being on the play with a Think Twice, I feel that this is a keep because we have a few turns to find the red mana. And our opponent mulliganed, and for some reason we mulliganed, which... it's probably a mistake to mulligan there. What is there's like 9 red sources in the deck or something, plus Evolving Wilds. So I think mathematically we were like 1 in 4 to find the land, but given our opponent's deck, unless he has the fastest of starts, we're going to have more than 3 turns to find a red source. So that feels like, or more than 3 draw steps to find a red source. So it feels like that mulligan's a mistake. Here we have all of our colors. We're going to have 3 lands that come into play tapped. It's pretty gross, but we're going to keep. And apparently Magic Online didn't save all my game files. I thought this was going to be game 2 of us versus the Green-White Gavany Township deck, but this is from another match I played during the day, which is Mono Black Zombies, and I was considering just stopping the video and having one game, but we might as well have two games because I did play a few matches yesterday, so we might as well upload more than, might as well have more than one game in a video. So we're just gonna roll with it. So the mulligan decision still the same. We don't know. I guess if we assume we don't know what we're playing against, I think mulliganing there is slightly worse. But if we know we're playing against an aggressive deck, mulliganing aggressively might be fine there. I still don't like my mulligan decision. Alright, anywho, back to this game. This hand's still fine. And we're on the draw. We have to beat a Diagraph Ghoul. And this does not feel like the hand that's going to bode well against zombies. At least in a game 1 situation. So he has Gravecrawler. So at least he doesn't have Highborn Ghoul. If he doesn't have a Dural's Messenger, we're not in bad shape. We draw a Think Twice, which was a pretty good draw. The island was amazing because it allows our Hinterland Arbors to come into play untapped. So we're going to Think Twice here. And Daybreak Ranger on 3. And we're going to take a shit ton of damage before we actually get anything going. And one thing I learned yesterday through a lot of play with this deck is, like, literally every situation where I had Desperate Ravings yesterday, I hated it. So, as a result, I've cut down to 2 from the list, and I might even go down to 0. I'm really not sure how I feel about that card. It's fine in the late game, but the problem is if the format's all aggro, which the dailies are, the daily results are that it's a bunch of red-white humans. Desperate Ravings is not good against them because it just takes way too long to get online. You really don't want to be Desperate Ravings, or for that matter, Think Twicing in your early turns. You want to be trying to kill their guys and stabilize the board. So here we're going to Daybreak Ranger. And he had the Messenger, so if he just has anything here whatsoever, this is just going to be a super fast game. And this is a spot where 4 creatures. If he plays a creature, we can Blasphemous Act, but that's very unlikely. I think we have no choice but to block the Dural's Messenger because we want to be able to Blasphemous Act everything away from his board. And the way it is, if we Blasphemous Act, he's going to just come back as a 4-3, and just with our current life total, we're just going to die to it. So we have to block and kill it, and hope some scenario comes up where we can Blasphemous Act in the next turn or two without dying. And he doesn't have anything, so our line here now is we don't really have much of a choice. We have to Devils play the Dural's Messenger. We take 4 going to 2 and cross our fingers. Would have been nice to have a Huntmaster here, but not a whole lot we can do. He had a really aggressive start. And he has an Altar's Reap. Yeah, he's got 4 cards in hand. He'll have 5 on his draw step. We go to 2. Any number of things kill us. At any point in the game, a Dural's Messenger just kills us. It doesn't feel like we're in good shape at all. I'd imagine this game is just over. And is it a Messenger? Nope, it's just a Gravecrawler. Alright. And that doesn't even do it. So we pretty much got steamrolled the 2 games that we watched today. And that's basically how all of yesterday went. I battled against a bunch of aggressive decks, and I kept not being able to kill their creatures. And they would just overwhelm me, and that seems like a fatal flaw for this deck. Like, it just can't beat a very, very fast aggression. So it's probably time to move on to something different. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this highlights reel from yesterday. And if you want to see more, you can check out my Twitch TV channel to watch the whole thing. And be sure to catch me streaming more in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.